Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Hey, thanks a lot for tuning in. Got you your latest on a Friday. It's a break day. Most, if not all of us, are likely dry for your Juneteenth. Very limited chance of showers locally. The main push with that cold front, all the strong, heavy rain, flash flooding, severe storms. We get a break of all of that today. A couple of isolated showers here and there can't be ruled out in the short term, with some troughs mostly missing us to our northeast. I'll be watching a Sunday night, Monday night. This will be our next push of some likely rain and storms. There will be some potential of moderate to heavy and excessive rainfall again Sunday night into Monday, so there may be some more marginal to slight risks of excessive rain leading to flash flooding concerns. Again, that timing is Sunday night and Monday that I will be watching. Stay tuned for updates on that. Fly Saver to forecast, it starts at home. Cities like Orlando, still some concerns with heat. 94, chances for showers and storms. Elsewhere, sunny, dry in Chicago. High near 75. From Panhandle to Panhandle, very low potential of an isolated shower and thunderstorm. Generally decreasing clouds. A little bit of a northwest breeze. Highs mid to upper 70s. Out to the east, Martinsburg, you're near 83 for today. Some upper 70s to low 80s, some upper 60s in some of the high elevation areas for today. For your Friday, morning clouds, afternoon sun, very low potential of an isolated shower, but little to no rain accumulation expected today. Similar for things to the south, morning clouds, then decreasing clouds. Highs around the 70s and 80s. Saturday and Father's Day, likely dry. We do have a weak cold frontal passage in the morning Sunday, but dry, and then warmer, 88 for your high. And then we'll have an area of low pressure push a stronger front. We'll watch for likely rain and storms Sunday night and Monday. Some heavy rain is a possibility with a high near 82.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
Morning, everybody. Welcome to Talkline on the Metro News Radio Network. Here we go.
From the studios of WVRC Media and the Metro News Radio and Television Network, the voice of West Virginia, comes the most powerful show in West Virginia. This is Metro News Talkline with Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows.
Check set lineup link. Activated Telos telephone. Switch network control from Charleston to Morgantown.
Stand by. Q Dave and TJ. You're on. Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Again, hope you're having a great Friday all across the great state of West Virginia. TJ Meadows, Metro News Talkline. Dave Wilson on vacation, a well-deserved time away. He'll rejoin the show coming up on Monday. I want to get right to it because time is of the essence. 800-765-8255 is the telephone number, but you're going to want the text line. 304-TALK-304. That's 304-8255-304. The reason that's important is because that's how you're going to be able to pose your questions to Nick Preservati. I refer to him as the state's energy czar. Nick, you've got about 5 titles. What's your official title, sir?
Director of the Office of Energy and Deputy Secretary, West Virginia Department of Commerce, and then Chair of the West Virginia Public Energy Authority.
Kind of like Marco Rubio. You do it all. I have a little fun. But yeah, I call him the energy czar. The reason he is here is we are going to talk about, I think, what is one of the most talked about topics in West Virginia these days, which is data centers. But we're going to go deeper than that. We're going to talk about HB 2014. We're going to talk about its structure. We're going to ask questions about what it does, what it doesn't do. We're going to get into coal-fired generation, natural gas-fired generation, nuclear, how transmission plays a role in this, all around the idea of settling on, is West Virginia an energy state? Is that what we are doing? And what do we have to do to truly be an energy state in the modern era? So, Nick, welcome in. Good morning. First off, thank you for being here. Thank you for your willingness to take questions. I think that's very important. I want to note for the record, that was your idea about taking the questions. I think that's important to share as well. So I want to get going with this very high level. You would argue that data centers are a good for West Virginia, I believe. Why?
That's a big question. So yes, I do think they're good for West Virginia. And the reason so is, first of all, we're an energy state. West Virginia is an energy state. We're going to dive into that. And energy is the currency of the 21st century. That's what's driving everything. If you don't have energy, you don't have an economy. You don't have business. We can see that from every single thing we do, from transportation to housing. Every single thing we do is centered on energy. Technology is becoming a bigger part of our lives. And data centers are where a lot of that now comes. We use them in every aspect of our lives every day. Now, do we think that data centers, we want to become Northern Virginia? Do we want to just have data centers everywhere? No. Do we want to have data centers in West Virginia? Do we think that we can use them to lift up our economy? Absolutely. So the high-level answer is, West Virginia needs development. We have people moving away. We have kids moving away. I look back at my high school class, and my top 20 in my high school class, I think 18 of them do not live in West Virginia. Mm-hmm. So we have to have something to stimulate our economy. And the governor has been very, very aggressive in trying to use economic development in the energy and technology sectors. It's developed a 50 by 50 plan, putting West Virginia in the forefront, I would say in the country, in energy development. But the thing that's very important there, since September, he's announced, I think, $13 billion worth of economic development. Historically, our energy resources have gone primarily out of state. 90% of our natural gas is exported out of state.
Explain what you mean by that. It just gets on a pipeline and it gets used somewhere else? What are you talking about there?
Somewhere else. It's not used in state. We don't have in-state uses for our natural gas. So it's put in a pipeline and it's sent down to North Carolina. I believe there's pipelines that are looking to get it into the Gulf of Mexico, looking for liquefied natural gas. So we're not using it in state. A lot of our coal gets shipped to North Carolina, to Ohio, to South Carolina, to Florida, overseas. And a lot of the comments that we have had is West Virginia has always had its resources taken out of state, and people out of state profit from our resources. The goal of this is to bring the resources back into West Virginia, have them used in West Virginia, so that the West Virginians benefit from the energy that's produced here, that's used here, that generates electricity here, that supports businesses here, and that we benefit from all of that.
What would you say to people who would combat that argument and say to you, Nick, okay, fine, so you're going to use our coal here in a plant, you're going to use our gas here in a plant to create electricity, but that electricity is still going out of state. We're not seeing it. Or that electricity is going to data centers that are in state, which ultimately serves people elsewhere, not us. What would you say to combat that?
I would say, first of all, for the electricity that goes out of state, yeah, a lot of it does go out of state. And we need it to go out of state, but we also need it to be used in state. We already produce more electricity than we use in West Virginia. We're a net exporter. The country needs electricity. PJM needs 115 gigawatts by 2050. Mm-hmm. No one in PJM can produce it like West Virginia. So if we can produce energy and send it out of state for others to use, power the nation, we benefit from it. Increased severance tax, increased generation for that electricity that goes out of state. We benefit from it. We benefit more if it's used in state. Now, if the data goes out of West Virginia, I don't think that's relevant. What's relevant is the data centers are located in West Virginia. The revenue from those data centers are generated in West Virginia. The taxes that are paid by those data centers are paid to West Virginia. We're getting all the benefit, financial benefit of that. I mean, we're a global economy. So that data is going to flow. Electricity flows across state lines. Data flows across state lines. The key here is, and again, one of the criticisms that we've heard historically is big companies take our resources out of the state and West Virginia doesn't benefit. This is the exact opposite of that. Companies are coming to West Virginia, deploying their resources in West Virginia, investing in West Virginia, and the money stays here. That's the big difference. And, I'm adamant about that. That's critically important. The governor's adamant about that. It's critically important. We have to have an economic policy that lifts up the state. Not just one segment of it, not one portion of it, the entire state.
We're going to get into that when we talk about this allocation of how the tax allocation works. But we are taking questions. 304-8255-304. We call it 304 Talk 304. A couple of housekeeping rules around that. I will get to as many of these questions as I can. Let me tell you, you do yourself no good if you re-text the same question before I get to it. That just puts you back at the bottom of the line. So don't do that to yourself. First question up for Mr. Preservati. The state should protect special places from data center development. Tucker County and the Highlands are special places. Does he agree? Why or why not?
First question, special places should be protected. And yes, we agree with that. And the evidence of that is the regulatory rule that we passed. The rule states that if there are special geological or other situations in an area that would be adversely affected, then the data centers have to address that.
Are you talking about 2014?
I'm talking about the legislative rule of 2014.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We don't think that data centers should be in every single corner of West Virginia in every place. So absolutely. I will say for the record that one of the big misconceptions is that we have an actual application for Tucker County. We do not. There's not a single data center that has filed an application for certification in Tucker County.
Why not? I mean, we know about fundamental data. We know what they want to do.
They have not applied. No one has applied in Tucker County.
But don't they have to?
That is a question. That's an interesting question. I think that you'll see probably in multiple sources today. Our position is yes, they do, that they have announced publicly what they plan to do. We've been working with them. They've told us publicly. They've told the public what they plan to do, and that's not a bad thing. I think that they need to do that. But we've been trying to work with them to say, okay, based upon those representations, it seems like, and it appears to us, you have to file certification. And we're in the process of that. They do not agree with that, and we're working through that process.
Okay, so that's a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
If I understand you correctly, you're saying, and again, this all stems back to 2014, House Bill 2014, and then the legislative rules that came as a result of 2014. So if I understand you correctly, what you are saying is that inside the legislative rule, there is a criteria that says one must apply once certain factors are known. Is that?
Yes.
And if those factors are known, are you saying those factors are known and they haven't done what they need to do?
So let's back up for a minute, and I'll try to boil this down a little bit.
Okay.
So House Bill 2014 says for a data center, if you know, there's a definition of a high impact data center. There's like 5 criteria. And if you know that you meet that definition, that you either have a current operation or that you're going to have an operation that you know is going to meet that criteria, you have 30 days to file your application for certification. It's pretty clear. You have 30 days once you know those factors are met.
Were they on the clock then?
Well, our public meeting, we felt those factors were met, that they disclosed to the public those factors.
And that was when?
May 18th. Now,
and today is June 19th.
June 19th.
So did they miss it?
Well, we sent a letter. We inquired of them before that and just said, from your representations, it appears that you guys meet the rule. We've reached out. We didn't get an answer, so we sent the letter saying, it appears that you guys meet that definition. If we're in error, tell us. If the plans that you announced on May 18th have changed, let us know. If you don't think you meet the qualifications, let us know.
So where do we go from here?
They've sent us a letter saying that they don't think they meet the qualifications. I've read it once, and we're digging into that and working through that. But as it stands, back to the question of do we think that certain areas should be protected? Absolutely. That's why we also amended the rule that says data centers, microgrids, when they apply, they have to identify proximity to schools, to churches, to other areas, national landmarks, historic places, anything of consequence. They have to tell us how close they are. And if they're in close proximity, that's the language in the rule, they have to provide mitigation plans. What are you going to do to reduce the impacts on those areas?
So we had Delegate Hansen on earlier this week, and he suggested that the state didn't have a criteria, but it sounds to me like the state does have a criteria from what I'm hearing you say.
There is a criteria. I mean, the data center has to identify these locations. We call them, I've seen them referred in some places as sensitive locations,
Okay.
schools, churches, residences, those types of things. They have to identify those, and if they're going to have an impact, they have to explain what they're going to do to mitigate that.
All right, one more question. I want to move on because time is of the essence. Texter says, I'm a multi-generational resident of Hampshire County. The MARL and Valley Link lines have the longest stretch of their pathway through Hampshire. Both of those lines are going to run through multiple parcels of my property. How much is one county and one family supposed to sacrifice? Why is West Virginia's economic outlook becoming my problem? Is the juice worth the squeeze with what will be done to landowners? Okay, that's got multiple parts, and we're doing this on the fly. So let me do this. Let's take the break. Let you think about that, and we'll come back and start with that question after the break.
Fantastic.
Metro News Talkline continues after this.
Picture a community where every space tells a story. Those are the communities we're designing at ZLM Architects and Engineers. With a blend of creativity and technical expertise, we design spaces that inspire, innovate, and ignite change. From cutting-edge educational facilities to community-centric gathering spaces, we're committed to improving lives through design. Let us help you shape a brighter future for generations to come. Because at ZLM, it's more than architecture. It's about building your legacy.
Are you ready to reach the finish line of retirement? At the Stike team at Wealth Enhancement Group, we provide comprehensive guidance for retirement planning in West Virginia. With years of experience, we'll draft a plan tailored for your unique goals. Whether you're just starting or nearing retirement, we make the process as simple as possible, easy, and stress-free. Visit wealthenhancement.com/Stike to set up a complimentary consultation and get started on your plan today. Let's work toward your dream retirement together.
They say you can't take the lottery with you. But now, you can play anywhere, anytime with iPlay, the West Virginia Lottery's official app. From Cooper's Rock to the Greenbrier River, from the bleachers to your living room, iPlay goes where you do. Safe, simple, and always West Virginia proud. Play anywhere, anytime. Download iPlay today. iPlay, the fun, secure way to play, wherever life takes you. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
Summer in West Virginia means open roads, blue skies, and endless possibilities. But if you don't have reliable wheels, getting to work or making it to a doctor's appointment can feel like an uphill climb. That's where Good News Mountaineer Garage comes in. We take donated vehicles, fix them up, and get them to fellow mountaineers who need them the most. This summer, let's keep our community moving. Donate a vehicle today by calling 866-GIVE-CAR or visit goodnewsmountaineergarage.org. Donate a car, change a life.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts,
WVMetroNews.com, the only website.
Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
On the next State of Minds.
The number of users of AI just continues to grow every day, and the complexity of the tasks that people use them for. We are members of community, and we want to be hiring one of the community members or many of the community members where we go. And that's very important to us.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
West Virginia Energy Tsar. That's what I call him. He doesn't call himself that until people get the, want people getting bent out of shape. Nick Preservati is here with us. Before the break, the question was, the MARL and Valley Link lines, transmission in general, the longest stretch of those, that pathway is going through Hampshire County. Both of those lines run along this texture's parcels of property. Wants to know how much one family has to endure. Is the juice worth the squeeze, is what this texter was asking. What do you say to that person?
I think first, it's a good question, and it's a valid concern. And I think as the state, I know the governor has expressed serious concern that these transmission lines that go through West Virginia have to serve West Virginia and have to have benefits for West Virginia. And that's a major premise of that. How that's determined, to what extent that's determined, a lot of it depends on the route, whether that can be moved. If it's on one property owner, then we need to be engaging with the developers of that to see, are there ways to mitigate that? Are there ways to change that so one person's not bearing the brunt of all of this?
Is it fair to say utilities do not want to use eminent domain?
I think that's fair. I think it's fair. They do sometimes. But
sure.
Yeah, I think that's fair. On these lines, I do think it's important to realize that these aren't lines that were designed or the routes chosen by the state of West Virginia, the Office of Energy, the governor. These are lines that were designed by I say utilities, some of them are private companies, through PJM, through the PJM process. And they went and got approval from PJM. And I'm not sure if all listeners understand what PJM is and how that works.
Go into that a bit.
So they're called RTOs, Regional Transmission Organizations, that are encouraged by FERC, Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, that work together on ensuring reliable transmission. And PJM's 13-state transmission organization. It's the largest electricity retail market in the world. It's over 60 million customers. It goes from Illinois up to Pennsylvania, New Jersey, down to North Carolina. So PJM regulates the flow of electricity through transmission and transmission projects. So if someone wants to put a transmission line in intrastate, goes from one state to another, they have to get PJM approval. And then once PJM approves, then it goes down to the states. Pretty complicated process. They have to have a need, justify the need for that line and where it's going. Now, where West Virginia gets involved and where the governor has been very adamant of being involved is these lines can't just pass through West Virginia to take power from one state to another and travel through West Virginia. There has to be a benefit to West Virginia. There has to be, at a minimum, we need substations. Are there drops in West Virginia? Is West Virginia going to benefit from these lines? Not just the construction, not just the taxes, but are we going to benefit from the electricity? Are we going to be able to serve businesses in West Virginia? Are these lines going to help West Virginia grow? And that's a process that we're looking at. We just entered into and actually signed a non-binding statement of principles with some of the developers and PJM saying you need to work with us on developing sites in West Virginia for these lines that benefit West Virginia.
So substations.
Substations.
So I wrote about that. And the pushback I got from some folks is, well, it's non-binding. The utilities will never do it. They're trying to grease the wheels and then they'll leave and they'll not do any substations. That's a criticism, and you say what to it?
The way I understand it is if that's an agreement that the project that was submitted to PJM would be amended to incorporate those substations as part of the project that's approved. So our view of it is if we can come to it, if we can identify those sites and get the developers of the projects on board with it, and then it goes to PJM, and they agree, I believe it becomes a requirement. That's my understanding of it. But there's another aspect to it as well that goes into the calculation or how we view the benefit for West Virginia. Some of these lines, they start at like John Amos or plants in West Virginia. And there's a major issue of congestion in PJM. And what that means, if you get too much electricity in one area, there's not enough transmission lines to take it from one place to another.
Highways too bogged down with cars.
Yeah, it's traffic. So that caused in Winter Storm Fern, and we had it again a couple weeks ago, there was not sufficient transmission. PJM called the utilities in West Virginia and had them throttle down their coal plants and said, you need to lower your generation. There's too much transmission, too much congestion on the line.
Or not enough transmission then.
Yeah, not enough transmission, too much generation. So West Virginia lost money.
So the way I would explain that is we didn't have a way to get our product to market.
We did not have a way to get our product to market, and we, as a state, were harmed by it. And I think there's an argument to be made that ratepayers were harmed by it, because if we were able to get that to market, the utilities would have made more money that goes into the rate base, lowers costs. That was a lost opportunity for our utilities. So the issue is we have to look at, in the way I understand it, these lines will benefit and allow West Virginia to generate more, to allow the plants to be more profitable, to allow our rates to go down. You're producing more, you're spreading costs out, making more revenue that goes into the rate base. It lowers costs for the average West Virginian.
304-TALK-304 is the text line. You can file your question now. We'll get to more of those questions when we come back. Other topics that we're going to talk about. We are going to get into local control. We're going to talk about water when it comes to data centers. We'll talk about noise pollution. We'll talk about light pollution and taxes. We will get into that as well. Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. 10:30, time for a news update. See what's happening across the great state.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Hey, thanks a lot for tuning in. Got you your latest on a Friday. It's a break day. Most, if not all of us, are likely dry for your Juneteenth. Very limited chance of showers locally. The main push with that cold front, all the strong, heavy rain, flash flooding, severe storms. We get a break of all of that today. A couple of isolated showers here and there can't be ruled out in the short term, with some troughs mostly missing us to our northeast. I'll be watching a Sunday night, Monday night. This will be our next push of some likely rain and storms. There will be some potential of moderate to heavy and excessive rainfall again Sunday night into Monday, so there may be some more marginal to slight risks of excessive rain leading to flash flooding concerns. Again, that timing is Sunday night and Monday that I will be watching. Stay tuned for updates on that. Fly Saver to forecast, it starts at home. Cities like Orlando, still some concerns with heat. 94, chances for showers and storms. Elsewhere, sunny, dry in Chicago. High near 75. From Panhandle to Panhandle, very low potential of an isolated shower and thunderstorm. Generally decreasing clouds. A little bit of a northwest breeze. Highs mid to upper 70s. Out to the east, Martinsburg, you're near 83 for today. Some upper 70s to low 80s. Some upper 60s in some of the high elevation areas for today. For your Friday, morning clouds, afternoon sun, very low potential of an isolated shower, but little to no rain accumulation expected today. Similar for things to the south, morning clouds, then decreasing clouds. Highs around the 70s and 80s. Saturday and Father's Day, likely dry. We do have a weak cold frontal passage in the morning Sunday, but dry and then warmer, 88 for your high. And then we'll have an area of low pressure push a stronger front. We'll watch for likely rain and storms Sunday night and Monday. Some heavy rain is a possibility with a high near 82.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted Best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
On the next State of Minds.
The number of users of AI just continues to grow every day, and the complexity of the tasks that people use them for. We are members of community, and we want to be hiring one of the community members or many of the community members where we go. And that's very important to us.
Jackpots are growing. In West Virginia, jackpots are on the rise every week. Powerball hits Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Mega Millions lights up Tuesdays and Fridays. That's 5 chances a week to get in on life-changing jackpots. Play in-store and online. 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. The Powerball jackpot sits at $302 million. Mega Millions jackpot, $452 million. So go ahead and play today. Nick Preservati Deputy Commerce Secretary here in the great state over all things energy, joins us for this hour on Metro News Talkline. We're talking data centers, energy, and everything that goes with it. And we're also taking your questions at 304-TALK-304. Texter asks, Nick, can we put data centers on recovered strip mines? That way they're away from the population.
Sure. I think that's absolutely a possibility. And in fact, it's a preference. I think that from the state's perspective, being away from population centers, being away from residents is the preference. Data centers that we've talked to, it's their preference as well. They want to have minimal impact on residents. They want to have minimal impact on businesses and churches and those types of areas. So yes, I think that's absolutely something that's possible and preferred.
Are there hurdles? Are there reasons it hasn't happened yet?
No, I think that if one thing you have to look at when you say reclaimed strip mines, the issues are, was there deep mining underneath it, and what's the subsidence issues? I think that's an issue that you have with not just data centers, but any business. Other than that, no, I don't know of any real issues there, and haven't had any applications, but I think there's starting to become a little bit of interest in some of those properties.
Okay. I want to shift the conversation. Again, thanks, Texter, for the question. If you have questions, 304-TALK-304. We're getting to as many as we can. Many of the questions we have here talk about local control. For the sake of time, I'm going to lump them together into a question for you. Those who are opposed to this process, and they may not be opposed to data centers from what I'm seeing in the text messages, but they are opposed to the fact that they believe counties have no local control. Ordinances are being usurped. The county doesn't play a role in the approval process the way 2014 and the legislative rule is constructed. Do you agree with that criticism? And what would you say to those who are concerned that local control is absent from the process?
I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that's a very big misunderstanding, and here's why. I think there's a misconception that county commissions can go in right now and just pass an ordinance regarding data centers.
Why can't they do that?
Because it's all governed by West Virginia code. And what that means is it's West Virginia law that says for a county to be able to do that, they first have to have a planning commission. They have to enact a planning commission, and this is all under West Virginia Code Chapter 8A. It's all set out there. They have to first develop a planning commission. Counties and municipalities too, cities and counties, they just can't enact zoning ordinances. Have to enact the commission, has to be paid, people have to be nominated, selected. That commission then has to go in and have their funding and do studies on the proposed ordinances. They have to provide those studies that take a significant amount of time, then to the governing body. The governing body reviews those studies. I believe there has to be a ballot initiative that people have to vote to allow those ordinances to go forward. It has to be passed by the counties. So it's a lengthy process that has to be done. So if a data center was coming into County A tomorrow and said, we're going to be there, the county commission just could not go and pass an ordinance without going through this process. Most likely they wouldn't be able to do it in time. Now, when you look at the counties in West Virginia, it's my understanding, I think now 51 counties in West Virginia have not gone through that process and cannot act ordinances.
Given the sensitivity around the issue, is this something legislatively that the legislature should take a look at in Chapter 8A? Should there be some kind of carve-out, some kind of amendment that would allow counties to be in the process quicker? What would that mean to the development?
So I think that there's a better route.
Okay.
And that is, when you look at it, we want to be able to keep some counties, the richer counties can come in and say, we're going to do these ordinances, and we could administer it. The smaller counties may not be able to administer these ordinances and do it the way that they need to. Consistency is the issue. It should be the same in all 55 counties, so that some counties could play the system and say, well, we're not going to do any ordinances so the data centers can come in and have free reign. Others are going to say they're going to be very restrictive. The process the way it's viewed is the state is going to, the governor's office, Commerce, going to be instituting statewide policies that say all 55 counties, these are going to be certain minimum requirements for data centers. And it's not going to be that they can come in and there's no regulation. And in that process, as we're developing it, we're going to be bringing in local entities. There's going to be a local voice. What are the issues through that process? The people have asked, well, when is that going to be done? When is it going to be complete? I'm not sure. And the reason is we got to make sure that we don't sacrifice speed, for accuracy and getting it right. But there's going to be a process. And the governor said from the very beginning, exempting local control doesn't mean there's not going to be any control. But to have one set of rules that all 55 counties are subject to, that data centers know that if they go in the eastern panhandle, they're by the same rules as the northern panhandle.
What about in the instance that a county that maybe does have a zoning commission, maybe they have noise ordinances or light pollution ordinances that are already in play? The way the structure is now, does the new structure trump whatever is already in place if the counties have it?
If they have it for those limited counties that do, yes.
It does trump it.
It would trump it, but that doesn't mean that when the state regs are put in, or the state requirements, that they're not going to be, those protections aren't going to be there. Now, I will give you an example. I know of 2 counties that have the planning commissions, and from what I understand, I read the Berkeley County Planning Commission report, and it says, in 2016 report says that they had an initiative on the ballot to enact ordinances, countywide ordinances in Berkeley County, and it was voted down. I think the same was done in Tucker County. That's my understanding. That's what we were told by Tucker County people last week, that Tucker County voted down countywide ordinances. So I think a lot of the residents have spoken that they didn't want the local control with these ordinances. They voted them down. What we're trying to do is protect the majority of the counties that don't have anything. So there will be controls. And, the data centers aren't going to be built for several years. We're working on the requirements on noise, on light, on setbacks, on all of those issues. We're working to those and putting those together. So it is a process that will be there. But the local control was as much to the protection of 51 counties who have no control and won't be able to have it for years.
We could spend an hour on this, but we've got many more topics, many more questions, so I'm going to move on. A texter says, why doesn't tax income and revenue from proposed data centers stay 100% in the county that they're in?
Another good question, and to answer that, I want to explain how the process works, first of all, because there's some misconceptions.
Okay.
The first misconception is that we are taking money from the counties so that they will be receiving less money with a data center than they would if the data center didn't come. We have heard that critique. So first of all, if you take a county, say today, in that they have X revenue coming in from property taxes, et cetera, that stays the same. So that if a data center comes in, and we've modeled this off a 1 gigawatt data center, if a 1 gigawatt data center with a microgrid comes into that county, the property values of that property prior to the data center stays the same and goes 100% to the county.
Okay, so let's break that down. So if it's just a greenfield, whatever property tax you're getting, and I'm making up a number here, if you're getting $30,000 a year from this, you're still getting $30,000 as if that was still a greenfield. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, saying that, yes, it's 100%. So if a county was getting $7 million budget for the year, we're still going to get the $7 million the next year. We're not taking anything away.
Okay.
But from that new data center that comes in, and I've got the numbers, I can go through the valuation of a 1 gigawatt data center. Our valuation is based off real property of $10 billion and personal property of $15 billion that we have reviewed. We've gone online, looked at multiple estimates. That's on the low end.
10 to 15.
10 and 15 for a total of $25 billion for 1 gigawatt. That's real property. That's personal property with all the servers. And people say, why is that so expensive? Think of these very complex servers in an extremely large building, 20-foot ceilings, floor to ceiling, just rows and rows and rows of thousands and thousands and thousands of servers.
So of that incremental sum that we're talking about, again, we're not talking about the land pre-built, but that new incremental tax, 50% of that goes back to the state off the top. What would you say to those who would say, well, we want to keep that too in the counties?
Well, for a second, it doesn't, all that 50 doesn't go straight to the state.
Okay.
So what you look at is if a county has no excess levy, no school levy, no excess school levy, no excess county levy, then you go into that analysis. If they have an excess school levy, if they have an excess county levy, in addition, they still get 100% of that too. So that's taken
off the incremental revenue.
Of the incremental, they get that too.
So if they have school levy, excess levy, you're taking that off the top before any other tax allocation.
You have the general county and the general school. That no, but if they have an excess levy, an excess school levy.
Yes, excess levy. Sorry.
Yeah, excess, that comes off the top too. So they get 100% of that as well. So it's only the other portion. So then the way it works is off those valuations, a 1 gigawatt data center with a 1 gigawatt microgrid, it's about, let me see, 87, That's the total assessed is $7 billion. Then you take the tax amount based for each county. It varies a little bit. But for one of the counties, Tucker County, that's $87 million in additional tax revenue that would be available.
Off a 1 gigawatt estimate of a data center.
Right. So from talking to the county commission, I believe their annual budget's about $7 to $8 million. What happens in that valuation is we take this and we put it to their tax rate, their school and their county tax rates. Tucker County would get $26 million additional.
On top of the $87 million?
No, that's from the 86.
Okay,
they would get $27 million a year.
Okay.
So their current budget's $7 million. They go up to an additional $26.2 million a year additional every year.
And you believe that's fair?
I believe it's completely fair. There would be counties that would not be able to spend $86 million a year every year. So what happens, and it just doesn't go back to the state. So let's talk about that for a minute. That's another misconception.
Yeah, let's see the allocation.
So the allocation, 50% of that goes to lower income tax statewide.
Is that automatic, or does it go to a fund? But is it automatic? Is there a mechanism to make sure it actually gets back to the people?
Yeah, the way it's written, it's automatically applied to that until there is no more personal income tax. And then once the personal income tax is gone and there's zero personal income tax, then it goes to the general revenue. But it goes to personal income tax first. Yes, absolutely. So every single citizen benefits from that 50%. The 30% goes to the county where it's located. 10% goes to a fund for all counties. So
is that fair? Should county that has nothing to do with this, doesn't have a data center, didn't work to get it there, should they get 10%?
Well, the whole philosophy of this is we're trying to build the state up across the state, that we're trying to do this for the benefit of the entire state. So that's the thought of it. So everyone benefits. We want the entire state to benefit from this. And then the last 10%, 5% goes to water infrastructure projects, which is very critical. We think water is a very important aspect of this. So it's going back to water projects to help the counties on a very critical need. The last 5% goes to electric infrastructure projects. And the whole rationale of that is build up the grid, make it more reliable so people have reliable energy, and it offsets it so the utilities aren't having to build it and then put it in the rate base. So that it's going to, the whole thought process is help lower utility rates, ensure more reliable electric service, ensure better water service. Counties are getting a tremendous amount of tax revenue, and all of this tax revenue goes to the people in one form or another. It just doesn't go to some general slush fund. It doesn't go to some general account just to be spent. It's allocated 100% to the people.
Let's get into this criticism I heard from Democrats this week during interims at Canaan Valley. They have, and take exception with the fact that we're taxing at salvage value. We should be taxing at 100% value. I believe I read in the news that Ohio is going back and re-examining and going to tax at a fuller value. You can add color to that. Is that a good decision? Is the state leaving money on the table? Are we giving tax breaks to corporations?
Well, first of all, let's talk about House Bill 2014 didn't do that.
Okay.
That's the first major misconception. Salvage value is not listed in there anywhere or creating that right to salvage value. That existed since 2009, I believe. It was Governor Manchin signed that into law in 2009.
Okay.
And it's not just it's not for data centers. It's for servers and high technology equipment. It applies to doctors' offices, law firms, people that use a lot of high-tech servers, et cetera. It's across the board. It's not just for data centers. And it's not the only salvage value. I've got a list of pollution control facilities get salvage value. That was Governor Arch Moore in 1973. Wind turbines get salvage value. That was Governor Wise, 2001. Cell towers, another infrastructure, gets salvage value, 2019 Governor Justice. Certain additional capital property, Governor Underwood, 1977. Almost every governor, the last 6 governors, have had salvage value, understanding that it increases the ability for companies to come here and facilitate economic development for the benefit of the people. But House Bill 2014 didn't do that. This has been around for 15, 20 years.
I got to hit the break. Want to get as many as we can in. 304 Talk, 304 Talkline continues after this.
Hey, this is Brad Howe for your local internet provider, CityNet. For years, rural communities in West Virginia waited for reliable, high-speed internet. Now, fiber is most likely at your front door. Public investment helped build the opportunity, and CityNet delivered the service to homes and businesses just like yours. With free equipment, free installation, no contract, and local support you can count on, switching to fiber has never been easier. Fast downloads, smooth streaming, better connections for work, school, and everyday life. When it's high-speed internet you need, CityNet.net connects, protects, and perfects.
Right now, America is hungry for energy, more power, more reliability, and more security. So here's a question worth asking. Why not coal? And why not now? West Virginia sits on one of the most abundant energy resources in the world. Generations of miners, proven infrastructure, and coal-fired power plants already delivering dependable, around-the-clock electricity. At a time when demand is surging and reliability matters more than ever, coal isn't a question mark, it's a solution. Today, there's robust support in West Virginia and Washington to strengthen American energy independence using the resources we already have. So again, we ask, why not coal? And why not now? Because when it comes to powering our homes, our hospitals, our economy, and new opportunities, West Virginia Coal is ready. A message from the Friends of Coal, powering America today and tomorrow.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
For couples that are experiencing infertility, about half will have the male factor in the diagnosis. At the WVU Medicine Center for Reproductive Medicine, we offer a wide array of treatment options for male factor infertility. There's really no reason you would need to go anywhere else. If we can identify and treat male factor infertility, we can prevent couples from even having to go down the road of IVF, saving you potentially money and time. We're here to help build a family. We have the capabilities and we care.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
At Daniel's Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniel's is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discover tailored suits you'll only find in-store at Daniel's.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Metro News Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Up against the clock, Nick. These data centers will raise electricity rates. True or not?
Most likely no. No. And that's not why rates are going up. And I want to address why people talk about West Virginia rates are so high right now. That's not true. And the reason I say that, if you look at EIA, the gold standard of energy information, in March of 26, their latest data, West Virginia had the second lowest overall energy prices in all of PJM.
Mm-hmm.
In February, our February electricity prices residential were lower in February of 26 than February 25. Our commercial rates were lower in February 26 than in 25. Industrial, lower in February 26, February 25. Overall, energy prices, February 26 was lower than our energy prices overall in February 25. You look at inflation for the last 10 years, in West Virginia, our total electricity rates are even or slightly lower than inflation. Our residential electricity rates over the last 10 years, 0.06 of a cent higher than inflation, 0.06 of a cent. Commercial rates below inflation, industrial electricity rates below inflation. West Virginia is tracking in below inflation rates because we have our generation. Our rates are not high. We have some of the lowest rates in all of PJM.
Squeeze another break, as many questions as we can on the other side. Metro News Talkline continues after this.
Right now, America is hungry for energy, more power, more reliability, and more security. So here's a question worth asking. Why not coal? And why not now? West Virginia sits on one of the most abundant energy resources in the world. Generations of miners, proven infrastructure, and coal-fired power plants already delivering dependable, around-the-clock electricity. At a time when demand is surging and reliability matters more than ever, coal isn't a question mark, it's a solution. Today, there's robust support in West Virginia and Washington to strengthen American energy independence using the resources we already have. So again, we ask, why not coal? And why not now? Because when it comes to powering our homes, our hospitals, our economy, and new opportunities, West Virginia Coal is ready. A message from the Friends of Coal, powering America today and tomorrow.
As West Virginia takes their shot at glory in Omaha and captures the nation's attention, West Virginia businesses are building for the future. When it's time for a new medical facility, hospital expansion, historic renovation, auto dealership, apartment complex, sports complex, or church addition, trust the team that's been helping build West Virginia for more than 25 years. Jarrett Construction delivers design build, construction management, and general contracting services throughout the state of West Virginia. Visit jarrett-construction.com today. WV030133.
In West Virginia, community is everything. It's about showing up for each other. Vin Salango and the team at Salango Law don't just work here, they live here, proudly sponsoring local events and giving back to the neighborhoods they love. So when you're facing a serious injury, trust the local team that's always in your corner. They spent over 25 years fighting for West Virginia families. Salango Law. Get results, not excuses. Visit us at salangolaw.com.
I'm Rachel Fetty Anderson, candidate for U.S. Senate. West Virginians are celebrating 250 years of freedom from a tyrannical government that seized land, taxed without representation, and forced the colonies to pay the cost for foreign wars. Today, our government is giving our land to corporations, silencing local governments, and defunding the infrastructure services our children need to thrive. We can stop them. Vote for a candidate who wants to represent us and stands for us, because my family lives here too. I'm Rachel Fetty Anderson, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Elect Fetty Anderson, Senate campaign.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Metro News this morning. The biggest stories from around the state of West.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
For couples that are experiencing infertility, about half will have the male factor in the diagnosis. At the WVU Medicine Center for Reproductive Medicine, we offer a wide array of treatment options for male factor infertility. There's really no reason you would need to go anywhere else. If we can identify and treat male factor infertility, we can prevent couples from even having to go down the road of IVF, saving you potentially money and time. We're here to help build a family. We have the capabilities and we care.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Talkline on Metro News. 304 Talk 304 is the text line. So, folks, we are up against the clock. I realize we haven't got the water. I want to talk water and at least get some understanding from you, Nick, about what you think will happen or what data centers could or do not do when it comes to water. So here's the game plan. We're going to call an audible. We're going to take a few minutes at the top of the 11:06 segment before we get to Stirewalt. And we're going to talk about water and get into some of the questions that folks have about water when it comes to data centers. Can you stick around with us for just a little bit?
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks for your grace. Stick around. Water and data centers. That at 11:06. You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Solango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Hey, thanks a lot for tuning in. Got you your latest on a Friday. It's a break day. Most, if not all of us, are likely dry for your Juneteenth. Very limited chance of showers locally. The main push with that cold front, all the strong, heavy rain, flash flooding, severe storms, we get a break of all of that today. A couple of isolated showers here and there can't be ruled out in the short term, with some troughs mostly missing us to our northeast. I'll be watching Sunday night, Monday night. This will be our next push of some likely rain and storms. There will be some potential of moderate to heavy and excessive rainfall again Sunday night into Monday, so there may be some more marginal to slight risks of excessive rain leading to flash flooding concerns. Again, that timing is Sunday night and Monday that I will be watching. Stay tuned for updates on that. Fly Saver to forecast, it starts at home. Cities like Orlando, still some concerns with heat. 94, chances for showers and storms. Elsewhere, sunny, dry in Chicago. High near 75. From Panhandle to Panhandle, very low potential of an isolated shower and thunderstorm. Generally decreasing clouds. A little bit of a northwest breeze. Highs mid to upper 70s. Out to the east, Martinsburg, you're near 83 for today. Some upper 70s to low 80s. Some upper 60s in some of the high elevation areas for today. For your Friday, morning clouds, afternoon sun, very low potential of an isolated shower, but little to no rain accumulation expected today. Similar for things to the south, morning clouds, then decreasing clouds. Highs around the 70s and 80s. Saturday and Father's Day, likely dry. We do have a weak cold frontal passage in the morning Sunday, but dry and then warmer, 88 for your high. And then we'll have an area of low pressure push a stronger front. We'll watch for likely rain and storms Sunday night and Monday. Some heavy rain is a possibility with a high near 82.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted Best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
304 Talk 304. Never enough time. Preservati's stuck around. We're calling an audible for just 3 minutes. We're going to talk water here before we get to Chris Stirewalt's question. TJ, talk water for centers. Is it not true? These new data centers recirculate the water, therefore they are not using fresh water throughout the life of the center. Other texters saying data centers pollute water. Tell me why they don't. Others saying data centers put us at risk of losing water that we need. Talk to me about those themes.
So I think it's very important to differentiate between data centers that were built 5-10 years ago and the ones that are going to be built. Because data centers 5-10 years ago use an inordinate amount of water. They use evaporative cooling. They use water. They pull it from different sources. They run it and it evaporates into the air. And they use a lot of water. So a lot of the numbers that we have seen are legitimate. Now, when you put them in context, I mean, they've seen all these things about one data center uses the same amount of water in a day as it takes to grow like 6 pounds of almonds or something like that. I don't know if that's helpful or not. What I think is to look at more of the technology. Data centers lose money by using that kind of water. So they've made advances. They made advancements in chips. Chips, the new branded chips, are able to operate at a much higher temperature. They require less cooling. There's new water technologies. The primary way that they're using water going forward, it's either closed loop systems. And when people say, well, what's a closed loop system? Think of the radiator in your car. Your radiator cools your car. When is the last time you put water in your radiator? Once you put the water in, you're able to use that same water, so you're not using more.
So you might pull it at first from a public water source, but you're not going to be continually re-pulling the water.
Correct. They're going to be using the same water over and over again. I know I've looked at the reports, QTS, I looked at their reports. They use closed loop systems. They use more water to water their plants and irrigate their plants outside the data center than they do to cool their data centers.
The two that are filed, are both of those closed loop systems?
I don't know. I do know, I think the one publicly has been disclosed, Penzance, it's the other option. There's we'll talk about, it's reclaimed water. And what that means is they're not taking water from an aquifer. They're not taking it from somewhere. They're not taking fresh water. They're going to the local water utility and getting their dirty water. And the data centers treat the water and use that water to cool their systems so that the utilities don't have to, and they're saving the utilities money of treating the water. So they're using dirty water, they're reclaiming it, using it, and then putting it back into the system, and it's cleaned. And the purpose of that is, I know some of the companies, if you look at them, I'm not going to mention them all by names, they're going to reclaimed water, so they're actually putting more clean water into the system than they're taking in an attempt to become water positive. And that philosophy is used out in the Southwest in areas where there's drought. They go to the reclaimed use, so they're actually creating more fresh water than less. And that's the ability, I think, when you see 2 to 3 years, the water issue is not going to be a significant impact because they're going away from evaporative cooling. They're even using gels that are not water but gel cooled, so they don't even have to use water at all.
We got to leave it there. We're out of time. Maybe we'll have you back just to talk water.
Okay.
But I appreciate your time. I appreciate your willingness to take questions. Thanks for coming in today. Nick Preservati, Deputy Commerce Secretary of the state of West Virginia, who I affectionately call the Energy Tsar, because he does it all. He's like Marco Rubio. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your time. 304-TALK-304. You can continue to text in your thoughts. Don't forget Steam release coming up at 11:30. I'm sure folks will have Steam to release as a result of the conversation we've been having for the last hour. I do want to go to our good friend in Washington, D.C., friend of the program, News Nation. He does it all, except he doesn't put hydrogen peroxide in his pool because he knows better. Chris Stirewalt, good morning, my friend.
Your boy goes out of town and you do water policy for a week. You're going to be in huge trouble.
Why?
When he gets back. That's
Why?
all I can say.
Why would I be in huge trouble?
You're doing the sexy topics like water. I know. I hear you. I understand.
I do what comes my way.
You're the real bleeding edge. If it bleeds, it leads.
Folks have a lot of questions, and I think it's been a good hour. I mean, we talked a lot, not just water. We talked about energy. We didn't even get yesterday to what FERC did with all the show cause orders, telling the RTOs, hey, you got to prove to us you're doing the right thing by the consumer. By data centers, and you got to prove to us that you can connect these things quickly, which, frankly, the RTOs needed a kick in the pants. I think that's a good thing.
The techlash on the data centers is a lot for me. It's not the only thing, but we have a economy that is growing despite our best efforts, right?
Yeah.
So we have an economy that continues to grow. We have seen an increase in manufacturing. We have seen an increase in these things. What is driving it? It's not just data centers, but brother, if you were to take the trillions of dollars that are being invested in this AI bubble, and bubbles are okay. There was a steel bubble. There's the rush of investment into new technologies creates bubbles. And there was a dot-com bubble, but now we live in a dot-com world. Like, there is a bubble that's inflating around this stuff. But I would just point out to Americans that it is the inflation of that bubble that has helped us to survive the tariff, the imposition of first destructive tariffs and now just damaging tariffs, that has allowed us to survive with an economy that has not dipped into recession through the astronomical rise in energy prices, through the continuing pressure of inflation from deficit spending. This is what's doing it, folks. And I understand that you don't want a data center in your neighborhood, maybe. I don't know. They seem like there could be worse neighbors to have. But I understand if you don't want one. And I understand taking a reasonable concern about the use of water. Like, I'm not saying that these are, how dare you criticize our corporate overlords. I'm just saying, when I look at the administration that is trying to take ownership shares that is taking, the president announced yesterday that he was doing a deal between Intel and Apple, and and the government's taking over these companies, and we're doing all of this stuff. We will definitely kill this golden goose. I am watching politicians in both parties at the local, state, and national level just looking. What I learned about politicians and business when I was in West Virginia was that instead of looking at this as cattle to milk, they look at these as cows to slaughter. And when you have somebody who's stuck having to do business where you are, if you try to kill it, right, to eat the meat, then it's gone. What you want to do is have it keep going. And I'm just looking at this, at the populist moment in America right now, and I'm looking at what's going on. And in spite of all of it, we have this new revolution that's sweeping through and providing all of this income and providing all of these jobs and all of this investment. And the answer is, how quickly can we stop it?
Yeah. No, from your lips to God's ears. But this populist movement, as you say, I wrote today about this. You may have seen the piece in the Wall Street Journal yesterday. I mean, RFK Jr. is messing up M&Ms, for crying out loud. M&Ms, the iconic candy, and we have to gum up the works because we can't find a natural substitute for blue dye. We finally find one, and what happens? Millions of dollars, retooling of equipment, because what we could find to make blue M&Ms gums up the work, and so now we're going to have to put out an alternative bag without blue M&Ms. I mean, you're right. We have the propensity to kill good things in America, and we can't even protect M&Ms for crying out loud.
The West Virginia-ness of it. So when I spent, 1998 to 2007, working in West Virginia, in the news business in West Virginia. And I was there for then Governor Manchin's Open for Business, and I was there for all of the stuff about how do we get investment, how do we overcome. Look, West Virginians are scarred by, the land is scarred by, and the people are scarred by the experience with extractive industries. Timber and coal left their marks on the land, and they left marks on the people and the cultural identity, which is that these companies are enemies that are coming in to take things and leave us with acid runoff in our streams. This is a mindset that prevented West Virginia from moving forward. But the problem is now that we have a lot of, whether it's from Graham Plattner to J.D. Vance, this is an attitude that suffuses American thinking, which is not optimistic, that doesn't say, hey, you know what? We've done it before. We're going to do it again. We completed a transcontinental railroad. We went to the moon. We invented we're just going to keep rocking. We're going to keep on rocking in the free world. And the answer instead is like, no, what we have to do, you know what it is? It's a much more European way of thinking. It's a much more feudalistic attitude, post-feudalistic attitude, than the idea of an enterprise and an entrepreneurship society of people who want to do big things and do stuff. It's an attitude that I saw very much in West Virginia, but now I see nationally in both parties in a big way.
That's dangerous. It's interesting. I've lived here my entire life, born and raised, but I haven't worked here. I had a home office for most of my career. I worked at home before the pandemic, after the pandemic, worked with counterparties all over the United States, even internationally. And frankly, I was somewhat sheltered from the attitude. And one of the things, good or bad, that doing this show has taught me is we have an overwhelming desire, and I think it is so bad, to go out of our way to say no to anything rather than look for a way to say yes and be optimistic about it. I agree with you entirely.
Well, pessimism, like the experience can make us pessimists, right? And you could, there's two stories that you could tell about West Virginia. And one is poor West Virginia. These poor little old West Virginians were afflicted by Mr. Peabody's coal company, and that You'll Never Leave Harlan Alive is written about Kentucky, but it's an energy that West Virginians understand well, which is to be the victim. And the victimhood is a road to nowhere, right? Figuring out how to take power and be powerful requires risk, and it requires pushing, and it requires daring. And when I look at West Virginia today, I see a bunch of really dumb culture war fights. I see a bunch of dumb, narrow arguments, and not vision, and not big ideas, and not like there are stories we could tell about people in West Virginia and businesses in West Virginia right now where people are doing amazing things, right? We could find them and we could tell them about great and how impressive and how exciting they are. But The narrative that West Virginians get stuck with is one of resentment. And resentment, as my old daddy used to say, resenting another person is like drinking poison and hoping that the other guy dies. And that's the kind of thinking that West Virginia has to shed and get on with the idea of believing that big and great things are possible, that it is both wild and wonderful.
Chris Stirewalt of News Nation, thehill.com, a great West Virginian, joins us on MetroNews Talkline. I want to transition over to Iran, get your thoughts. I've looked at these 14 points. I think it's 14. Good deal, bad deal, status quo. How do you interpret this? I think we lost Chris. All right, 304 Talk 304. Somebody's with the wire cutters again. Chris was just about to tell us how good, how bad, how indifferent the Iran deal is, and we lost him. Perhaps he'll call back, perhaps not. Let's go ahead and take the break. 304 Talk 304 800 765 8255. Don't forget, steam release coming up at 11:33. We'll try to knock out some texts that I can still respond to and perhaps reconnect with Chris coming up after the break.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan. We are here for you.
Approach your retirement with confidence. With over 150 years of combined experience, the advisors of the Stike team at Wealth Enhancement Group provide advice and wealth management strategies to individuals, families, small businesses, professional offices, and institutions. With the Stike team, you'll have access to an advising team with extensive resources, a client-first mindset, and a passion for helping transform the lives of those we serve. Visit wealthenhancement.com/Stike today and join the team that's dedicated to your success.
Plan a holiday getaway to the 64th Annual Mountain State Art and Craft Fair, July 2nd through the 4th at Cedar Lakes in Ripley, West Virginia. Shop for handmade Appalachian crafts, enjoy live music, a quilt show, and don't forget the great food. Celebrate America's 250th at America's largest small-town Independence Day celebration. Learn more at RipleyCVB.com. It's all happening on Independence Day weekend in beautiful Ripley. Once you do it, you'll be back.
This boating season, elevate your family time with Lou Wendell Marine Sales. Proudly family-owned for over 40 years, Lou and his sons are West Virginia's largest Avalon pontoon dealer. Trusted experts in premium boats, motors, and service. Discover refined comfort, elegant design, and performance you can feel. Now is the perfect time to take advantage of preseason savings. At Lou Wendell Marine Sales, they don't just sell boats. They sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com because the weekend's almost here.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
sunshine, open roads, and a new Toyota from Dan Cava Toyota World. Lease an all-new Camry for as low as $398 a month. All new Tundras now up to $8,000 off. All new Tacomas now up to $4,500 off or lease as low as $399 a month. $7,500 off the new BZ or 0% financing for 72 months. We've got a Toyota for you at Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
CityNet is West Virginia's local internet provider. High-speed, reliable fiber internet is probably right at your front door now. Is the perfect time to connect. 304-TALK-304. Either a bad phone line or government censorship got us. We were talking with Chris Stirewalt. He rejoins the show. Chris, I was just about to ask you, this Iran deal, 14 points, good, bad, status quo. How would you evaluate the deal, sir?
First of all, your operation is in shambles, clearly, with Dave gone. I'm the quality control report I'm turning in to your co-host is going to be pretty damning.
Blame it on Meadows. There you go. Join the club, buddy. What's your jacket size?
I will just say that no one thinks it's the outcome that they wanted. This is not the outcome that the administration talked about. Remember when they were posting those videos that were like, yeah, and then we're going to blow up your face, and then blah, blah, blah. It was like pro wrestling, SmackDown, blah, 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 and all of that. And, you know, this is not what was discussed. And this is not what here's the simplest way to put it. If you would have said, here's what the eventual deal is going to be, if back at the end of February when we started, you'd said, here's what the outcome is going to be, and it's going to take until late June for this to happen, the proponents would say, that's ridiculous. That's doomsaying. That's how dare you? But here we are. So I guess the way I think about it is, if you're a Republican and you think that Joe Biden's withdrawal from Afghanistan was a disaster, that was an inflection point that started the skid toward failure for that administration or intensified the skid towards failure, this is worse. Mm. This is worse. And the president's numbers will rebound some as gas prices come down, but this has been hard on the Republican coalition, and it has raised new questions about the leadership of this administration. And it's like, this is not what no one voted for this. And it's a real bummer for them.
It feels to me like I think we do have to give credit to the administration for what they did militarily to make sure that all of this uranium dust, whatever you want to call it, is buried and not usable for 4 or 5 years, maybe, give or take. And maybe we have to go in and blow it all up again. But it feels to me the way this is coming together and what we are getting versus what we are giving and the potential of this $300 billion, it feels to me like, to your point, a way to okay, we're out of this, my numbers can rebound, and now it's the next guy's problem.
You've heard it said that you can win the war and lose the peace.
Mm.
We don't know whether 10 years from now we will say that we will say nothing about this word, because it will not have had any. Iran will go back to being Iran, and it will be a blip. Or we may say that actually the beginning of the reunification or the unification of Islam and the end of the conflict between the Shia and the Sunni actually was advanced by what began with this. Or we might say, and that's how the Middle East equivalent of the First World War kicked off, and that who knows? But it'll take a long time before we know, because we have conflicts in the American past, Bosnia, Somalia. We have other interventions in the past that are memory hold that we don't think about because they don't. I mean, Somalia it's still yes, but we don't think about Bosnia and the Serbs, and we don't think about that because it's not material. So this may be that, or this may be the beginning of something good, maybe the beginning of something bad. We just know that round one did not go the way that the administration said it would or wanted to, and it will be destabilizing in some ways. Maybe there will be benefits that come out of it, but who knows?
30 seconds to wrap up the conversation here. Let me wish you a happy Father's Day. If you don't mind my asking, do you have plans to celebrate? What will you be doing on Sunday?
Father's Day is a hogwash, made-up holiday. What you should be focused on, sir, is the back-to-back Civil War holidays of today is Juneteenth and the defeat of the slaveocracy, and tomorrow is the great day, the West Virginia Day. These are good things to commemorate. These are important things to commemorate. Father's Day is just a way to sell novelty cakes.
Do you have a favorite novelty cake? Out of curiosity.
My favorite novelty cake is steak.
Yes. How cooked? Very quickly.
Medium rare. What am I, an animal?
Oh, my goodness. Chris Stirewalt, News Nation. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you very much.
All right. Have a great
Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. News time is approaching 11:30. Let's check in, get an update from the news desk, find out what's happening all across the great state.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Salango Law. Get results, not excuses.
Hey, thanks a lot for tuning in. Got you your latest on a Friday. It's a break day. Most, if not all of us, are likely dry for your Juneteenth. Very limited chance of showers locally. The main push with that cold front, all the strong, heavy rain, flash flooding, severe storms. We get a break of all of that today. A couple of isolated showers here and there can't be ruled out in the short term, with some troughs mostly missing us to our northeast. I'll be watching Sunday night, Monday night. This will be our next push of some likely rain and storms. There will be some potential of moderate to heavy and excessive rainfall again Sunday night into Monday, so there may be some more marginal to slight risks of excessive rain leading to flash flooding concerns. Again, that timing is Sunday night and Monday that I will be watching. Stay tuned for updates on that. Fly saver to forecast, it starts at home. Cities like Orlando, still some concerns with heat, 94, chances for showers and storms. Elsewhere, sunny, dry in Chicago, high near 75. From Panhandle to Panhandle, very low potential of an isolated shower and thunderstorm. Generally decreasing clouds, a little bit of a northwest breeze, highs mid to upper 70s. Out to the east, Martinsburg, you're near 83 for today. Some upper 70s to low 80s, some upper 60s in some of the high elevation areas for today. For your Friday, morning clouds, afternoon sun, very low potential of an isolated shower, but little to no rain accumulation expected today. Similar for things to the south, morning clouds, then decreasing clouds, highs around the 70s and 80s. Saturday and Father's Day, likely dry. We do have a weak cold frontal passage in the morning Sunday, but dry, and then warmer, 88 for your high. And then we'll have an area of low pressure push a stronger front. We'll watch for likely rain and storms Sunday night and Monday, some heavy rain is a possibility with a high near 82.
This is Ben Salango with Salango Law. Salango Law has earned a reputation for getting excellent results for our clients. With decades of experience handling thousands of cases, we know what it takes to deliver. Proudly voted best in the Valley for 3 consecutive years by readers of the Charleston Gazette-Mail, Salango Law is deeply committed to giving back by investing in our community. From supporting local programs to making our region a better place to live, Salango Law is proud to be your trusted legal and community partner. Check us out at salangolaw.com.
On the next State of Minds.
The number of users of AI just continues to grow every day, and the complexity of the tasks that people use them for. We are members of community, and we want to be hiring one of the community members or many of the community members where we go. And that's very important to us.
Talkline on Metro News. TJ Meadows solo today. Dave Wilson enjoying a well-deserved vacation. Dave rejoins the show from the Morgantown studios coming up on Monday morning at 10:06. It's time for Steam Release. We'll get right to it. 800-765-8255. 800-828-8255 is the telephone number. It is open for your steam. If you want to call in, of course, text steams are always welcome at 304-TALK-304. Some of the steams are mixed in with questions that we didn't get to with Nick Preservati, so we will do the very best that we can to separate the two. Again, 304-TALK-304. That's 304-8255-304. If you want to text in, or feel free to call 800-765-8255. Here we go. TJ, Texas passed a law that data centers can go just about anywhere they want, but they must be powered by small nuclear reactors. SMRs. Why can't we do that, says the texter. Let's see here. Steam release. Despite the comments made by the bigoted UFC fighter last Saturday night, made from the White House South Lawn, the People's House, Juneteenth, can be celebrated with the fact that the former First Lady of the United States, Michelle Obama, is a beautiful, intelligent woman. Truth still matters. Stirewalt got to stick to gossip inside the Beltway. When he wanders beyond that circle, he's winging it. Steam release. I'm mad as hell. I must wait 139 days before Sean Fluharty is voted out of office. The Obama-era upgrades to water, air, and stormwater standards should put a lot of people's concerns at ease, but it doesn't. Morgan County had over 100 people at a planning commission meeting, most protesting a KOA campground. Not the project, or no project, can be considered safe. This texter says a new Robin Hood movie comes out today. The show doesn't mention Robin Hood nearly enough. Steam, with Trump and the MAGA ideology at the helm of America. The old US of A is a loser. It's a shame that for her 250th birthday, America the Beautiful is stained by MAGA and Trump. Donald Trump's latest book is titled, quote, The Art of the Kneel. My morning steam, the reflecting pool no-bid contract should be investigated by Congress. Where'd the money come from? Where did it go? The qualifications of the contractor, and if they kicked back money to Trump. 304-TALK-304 is the text line. If you want to call, 800-765-8255. It's steam release. Is it true that producer Ethan stole all the punctuation keys from the judge's keyboard? If so, he'll be getting a long sentence, says this texter. The next intelligent thing, Stir Cult says, will be the first, according to this texter. Let's go to Jerry from Wheeling. Jerry, morning, you're on steam release.
Hey, this week on the Howard Monroe Morning Show, Howard asked producer Bob, do they still have porn on the internet? Bob replied, well, as of 6 a.m. this morning, they did.
Appreciate it, Jerry. 800-765-8255. 304-TALK-304 is the text line. Trump can be read like a fish at the poker table. He first boasts, then the extreme anchor, then he projects, always the same thing. I think Siri got them there. It meant the extreme anger. It happens. 304-TALK-304. No matter how bad Trump does, you seem, TJ, to make excuses for him and spin it. It's getting old. Republicans need to stand up for something. No steam today, says the texter. Just wanted to say happy Juneteenth and happy Father's Day. Steam, why are we paying for winning? I thought President Trump could not make a bigger mistake than starting a war with Iran. I was wrong. Remember, he promised us bombs had obliterated the nuclear threat from Iran. He now proposes terms to end the present Iran war that leaves us looking like a defeated nation rather than the victorious one that we are. Now he proposes we give Iran $300 billion to repair the damage our bombs and missiles did to them. Is this our new bomb and repair plan? We're going to give Iran $300 billion we impounded from them for their bad acts in the past. How many times in the past 6 weeks has our president told us we had totally won this war? Why are we paying for winning? How can cesspool Chris compare the Iran mess with Afghanistan's withdrawal, with Afghanistan withdrawal? I've heard nothing about leaving $4 billion of equipment in Iran or leaving the Afghan people who helped the USA behind. He will say anything to get a cut at Trump. If Liam would practice harder and apply himself, his dad wouldn't lose his mind in the States. Producer Ethan's dad can relate. If you know, you know. I agree with a lot of what Chris Stirewalt says, but today he sounded like a goofball. Peace in the Middle East is at hand, and the president is hated by the libs so bad they would rather burn the planet than say anything positive about him. 304 Talk 304. TJ, great segment with data centers. Could you do a similar segment with officials on the conditions and repair plans for our secondary roads? Much needed. Thank you. Not really a steam. I've made pepperoni rolls for our folks at work at their request for tomorrow. I guess they like them anyway. Happy West Virginia Day, says Jim. MAGA, make America great again. What's wrong with that? Says the texter. All right, 304 Talk 304 is the text line. You can also call 800-765-8255. Steam release continues next.
For over 30 years, High Technology Foundation has been committed to building a stronger West Virginia. Our mission, economic diversification. By fostering innovation and supporting tech initiatives, we pave the way for a brighter future. From cutting-edge research to tech-driven solutions, we're transforming the landscape. Join us in creating opportunities and driving progress. Let's build a diverse economy together. Visit WVHTF.org. High Technology Foundation, shaping West Virginia's future.
Located in the heart of West Virginia, Bridgeport is the place to play. Endless indoor and outdoor recreation opportunities, including the Bridgeport Complex, coupled with a dynamic food scene, make Bridgeport the perfect getaway destination for couples and families. Explore unique shopping and pick from a wealth of lodging options to find something perfect for your needs. Explore the heart of West Virginia in Bridgeport. Learn more about all there is to do at greater-bridgeport.com.
Summer in West Virginia means open roads, blue skies, and endless possibilities. But if you don't have reliable wheels, getting to work or making it to a doctor's appointment can feel like an uphill climb. That's where Good News Mountaineer Garage comes in. We take donated vehicles, fix them up, and get them to fellow mountaineers who need them the most. This summer, let's keep our community moving. Donate a vehicle today by calling 866-GIVE-CAR or visit goodnewsmountaineergarage.org. Donate a car, change a life.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
For couples that are experiencing infertility, about half will have the male factor in the diagnosis. At the WVU Medicine Center for Reproductive Medicine, we offer a wide array of treatment options for male factor infertility. There's really no reason you would need to go anywhere else. If we can identify and treat male factor infertility, we can prevent couples from even having to go down the road of IVF, saving you potentially money and time. We're here to help build a family. We have the capabilities and we care.
On the next State of Minds.
The number of users of AI just continues to grow every day, and the complexity of the tasks that people use them for. We are members of community, and we want to be hiring one of the community members or many of the community members where we go, and that's very important to us.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Skin cancer is the most common cancer in the United States, and melanoma is most treatable when found early. At the WVU Cancer Institute, our experts used advanced screening, leading-edge technology, and personalized care to detect and treat skin cancer early. From routine skin checks to comprehensive cancer care and survivorship, we're here for you every step of the way. Don't wait to get checked. Call 855-WVU-CARE. Steam release continues, 800-765-8255. Text 304-TALK-304. We go to the phones with Jim. Good morning, Jim.
Hello. I got two things I'd like to hit on here. My volume button, it still works great to get rid of Stirewalt. Turn to the left and he's gone. It's just like taking a laxative. It's instant relief. Second thing, you can tell when Trump is kicking butt and taking names and doing good things. That's when Obama and Hoppy Kurtz will come out of the woodwork and dump on him. Thank you.
Jim, appreciate it, sir. You'll have a much better weekend. Junior from Fish Creek. Junior, good morning.
Morning, TJ. Another guy. How's it going today?
Wonderful, sir.
Hey, I don't know what you're paying that Sophia, but it ain't enough. She is a sweetheart beyond compare. God bless her. But anyway, my real steam is that Howie Monroe. He was at the buffet at the old racetrack the other day, and he had his wife going up and getting his food.
Mm-hmm.
He had to have prime rib, fish, noodles. He just sits there and eats. It's gluttonous, I'm telling you. And then guess what? He's got a vacation planned where he's going on a bus trip that is nothing but going to buffets. Are you kidding me? TJ, we don't need you up here in Wheeling because he ain't got much longer on Earth. Bye.
Have a great weekend, Junior. 800-765-8255. If you've got some steam that you want to throw out yourself with your own voice, or if you just want to text, that's fine too. 304-TALK-304. Back to the texts. Texter says, is it the role of government to make money? We're supposed to sacrifice our land and rights so the state can make money. Do you hear yourselves? Asks the texter. The thing that concerns me the most are the stories from decades ago when out-of-state monies paid for the virtual elimination of West Virginia's forests statewide for the sake of wood products needed outside of the state, or the impact of coal extraction that has had on the state. Once those trucks and trains rolled out of our borders, the utter destruction left behind has physically impacted well beyond the impact it has financially today. This is a concern for the public. 304-TALK-304. Regarding continued economic benefits, speaking of data centers, after construction, how many jobs are needed by a typical data center? Not many. What taxes are received from the data center? Profits will go to the parent company out of state, says the texter. 304-TALK-304 is the text line. Can any of you Metro News guys say anything good about President Trump? The hatred that people have for him is nothing but being jealous of him. Look at what he has done. Look at the last one, says the texter. The Iran deal reminds me of a little-known fact about the Middle East area. People in Saudi Arabia do not watch the Flintstones, but people in Abu Dhabi do. TJ, good performance today. Always tough going from co-host to teacher. Kept the plates spinning, says the texter. 304-TALK-304. I drive around 400 miles a day for work around the state of West Virginia. I see multiple times daily on the interstates cars flying through construction zones at least 70 miles an hour, while workers are literally feet away from them. It's ridiculous. Squeeze in a phone call before the next break. Good morning, Dale. It is your turn on Steam Release.
Hey, Zipper Merge Meadows.
It's your pal Dale Lee.
Sup,
You're
Dale?
doing great. You're doing great riding solo with that other guy. Looking forward to blowing out birthday candles in my pepperoni roll tomorrow for West Virginia Day. And happy Father's Day to you and all my Mountaineers. See you on the front nine from one Swifty to another.
Thank you, Dale. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. You'll feel better. Let's see. A couple more texts before we hit the break. We got time. Impeach, convict, remove, then move forward with the entire administration and Trump family to prosecute, convict, imprison, and issue reparations. The Afghanistan withdrawal that was completed under the Biden administration was negotiated by the Trump administration in February 2020 and governed by the Doha Agreement. The drawdown started under the first Trump administration, so that doesn't fall entirely on the Biden administration. All right, last call, 800-765-8255. That's the phone line if you want to call it in. Continue to text your steam, 304-TALK-304. Take the break. Come back after these words.
The WVU Medicine Transplant Alliance exists because of one extraordinary act, the gift of an organ. Each heart and kidney transplant represents a donor's legacy, a gift powerful enough to turn imminent loss into renewed life. Our dedicated transplant team honors that gift with expert, compassionate care before, during, and long after the transplant. Learn more about organ donation and the life it creates at registerme.org/WVU Medicine.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
For over 4 decades, we've been rooted deep inside West Virginia. Through thick and thin, supporting local families and businesses. Proudly serving your neighborhood since 1979. Your trusted partner in the community.
The health plan. We are here for you.
They say you can't take the lottery with you. But now, you can play anywhere, anytime with iPlay, the West Virginia Lottery's official app. From Cooper's Rock to the Greenbrier River, from the bleachers to your living room, iPlay goes where you do. Safe, simple, and always West Virginia proud. Play anywhere, anytime. Download iPlay today. iPlay, the fun, secure way to play, wherever life takes you. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
As West Virginia takes their shot at glory in Omaha and captures the nation's attention, West Virginia businesses are building for the future. When it's time for a new medical facility, hospital expansion, historic renovation, auto dealership, apartment complex, sports complex, or church addition, trust the team that's been helping build West Virginia for more than 25 years. Jarrett Construction delivers design build, construction management, and general contracting services throughout the state of West Virginia. Visit jarrett-construction.com today. WV030133.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
For couples that are experiencing infertility, about half will have the male factor in the diagnosis. At the WVU Medicine Center for Reproductive Medicine, we offer a wide array of treatment options for male factor infertility. There's really no reason you would need to go anywhere else. If we can identify and treat male factor infertility, we can prevent couples from even having to go down the road of IVF, saving you potentially money and time. We're here to help build a family. We have the capabilities and we care.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Longer days, warmer drives, and better deals at Dan Cava GMC. Hit the road in one of our new luxury GMC Acadias. Take your pick from our massive selection. Now up to $5,500 off select new Acadias and 3.9% for 60 months. The great deals continue with our large selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
It feels like boat weather right now. It's time to get ready. Great deals on pontoon and fishing boats from Lou Wendell Marine Sales. Check out our inventory at LouWendellMarineSales.com. Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun. Steam release continues at 800-765-8255. 304-TALK 304 is the text line for your steam, and we go to Rob. Good morning, Rob.
Good morning. How you all doing?
Wonderful, sir. Hope you are too.
I remember back in 1983, Reagan's been elected probably for a couple of years, and in Lebanon, they blew up the barracks. 246 Marines were killed, greatest fighting force in the world. And Reagan, with his strong policies, really didn't respond at all. I thought finally we had a president with Trump that had the fortitude, the courage, and the determination to finally take out Iran's ability to make war with them and their proxies and quit harassing the whole world. Well, it started out wonderful, and then it just fizzled out, and now he's trying to make a deal. You cannot deal with those type of people. I don't understand what his thinking is. I thought we had a strong Republican president, and I guess I was wrong. Thanks, guys.
Rob, appreciate you. 800-765-8255. Last call for Steam, 304-TALK 304. Text, if we're exporting electricity, why do our bills keep continuing to rise so drastically? It does not make sense, says the texter. 304-TALK 304. Hey, TJ, I got a dad joke for you in the spirit of Father's Day this Sunday. How did Rome get split in two? With a pair of Caesars, says the texter. TJ, you do a really great job reading the texts. Thank you. 304-TALK 304. Already got that one. For trying to overthrow our democracy, Trump is considered a traitor who should be, ? Best option used on past traitors? They're not very nice, says the texter. President Trump is responsible for 1/3 of our national debt. 1/3. Look it up, folks. I-81 in Berkeley County is dangerous. Come on, law enforcement, help. Traffic theme going here. This texter says the PA Turnpike is extortion. That is all. I'm a Trump guy, but these whiners that keep calling you guys anti-Trump for questioning his actions sound like the kids in their parents' basement to me. They really seem pitiful. Texter says, any updates on the Jay Taylor debacle with the auditor's office? Seems like it went quiet. Need to dig into this. Editor's notes, last I heard, the treasurer had asked for some information from the auditor's office. I do not know if that's been provided or not. That's the best I can do for you on short notice. Text, why do Demorats keep falling into Trump's cheese traps? One independent wondering. 304-TALK 304. Chris needs to give an update on his Weirton Steel, unless he's already celebrating. If you know, you know. All right, working my way back through here because, again, some of these got mixed in with data centers, and I want to make sure that we get to all of your steams. So it's live radio. Give me just a moment here. 304-TALK 304 if you have anything else pending. Here we go. Regarding continued economic benefits after construction, How many jobs are needed? All the profits go to the parent company out of state. Got that one. And while I'm looking through here, I'm going to try, if we didn't get to some of these questions, I'm going to try my darndest to figure out how to get you an answer. And I know we didn't get to some of the water questions. So we're going to try to do that and get you some answers. Final steam. My father landed on Omaha Beach during WW2 and fought with his friends all the way to Berlin. He came home and started a small business. As a result of his efforts, we are fortunate to own land in Hampshire County. These transmission lines are going through our property that he fought to have all those years ago. What did he fight for? Go read what James Madison and George Mason said about property rights. Read Federalist 10. They warned us about this all those years ago. You get the last word. Metro News Midday coming up on many of these same Metro News radio stations. See you Monday. This has been Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.